ESPN welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Back in AT&T Stadium and ready to go. Detroit won the toss and deferred, so Dallas will receive the opening kickoff. Lucky Whitehead back deep for the Cowboys. Sam Martin, the punter, is the kickoff man for Detroit. Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, Jason Witten, and the rest of the Cowboy offense will be on the field first. Detroit Lions at 9-5. Critical game for their playoff hopes. Chance to punch their ticket into the playoffs with a win tonight. Here comes Darren McFadden. Good return. Banged out of bounds as he crossed the 30-yard line. They're going to mark it at the 34-yard line. Here comes Dak Prescott off a tremendous performance here last week against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 32 out of 36. That's 89%. It was his 12th win of the season. One more, he'll match Ben Roethlisberger's rookie record of 13 wins in a regular season. He's hoping to be the first rookie quarterback ever to start the Super Bowl, but a lot of work to do before then. They know one thing: if they make the Super Bowl, they won't have to leave the state of Texas in the postseason, with home field wrapped up in the Super Bowl in Houston. Looked like a busted play, and Prescott throws it away on first down.
It's amazing to me about Prescott is the way he's handled the pressure of being the starting quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, and there's going to be an illegal man downfield here against Dallas, but he's handled a lot of success and adversity quite well.
An eligible member of the offense downfield during a pass. 5-yard penalty, first down.
But what has been most surprising about Dak Prescott is his accuracy in the pocket throwing the football. A lot of people thought he was a run-first quarterback at Mississippi State, and man, has he made the transition underneath the center. Remarkable performance by a fourth-round rookie.
He can run the ball when necessary, but they've tried to minimize his exposures in the run game. First down and 15 for Dallas. Here's the league's leading rusher, the rookie Ezekiel Elliott, who got yanked down by Tyron Walker behind the line of scrimmage. The Cowboys' offensive line, widely regarded as the best in the NFL. 3 Pro Bowlers, Smith, Frederick, and Martin, all going to the Pro Bowl for the 3rd year in a row. The backs and receivers. The rookie Elliott will join Dak Prescott. First time ever the Cowboys have sent 2 rookies to the same Pro Bowl. Four-man rush for Detroit. Prescott, a bit of a wobbler, but on target for a first down to Dez Bryant across the 45 to the 47-yard line.
And you're going to have good passing fundamentals if you get protection like this. Drops back to pass. He has all day to survey the field and get backside to Dez Bryant. Sean, you and I have said it all week. When you watch the Cowboys on film, they have a lot of great skill players, but you can't talk about this offensive line enough.
That was a great example of it. Prescott had all kinds of time to throw. One of the big reasons why he's one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the league. Here's their leading receiver, Cole Beasley, into Detroit territory to the 49-yard line, taken down by Raphael Bush. Lions have played very good defense lately. They haven't allowed more than 20 points in any of their last 8 games. A very stout defensive front led by Ziggy Ansah, one of the best sack men in football, but not this year. Tyre Whitehead is their leading tackler. DeAndre Levy, his 3rd game back from injury. And like Sean Lee on the Dallas defense, Glover Quinn has played every snap on defense this year for the Detroit Lions. We're without their outstanding cornerback, Darius Slay. Ezekiel Elliott weaves his way inside the 45-yard line, taken down by Glover Quinn.
And Sean, when you look into Lion huddle, they got a lot of young defensive players, but Glover Quinn, right side of your screen, number 27, makes all the plays on the back end for Detroit. What a great veteran player he has been. Converted corner, ex-Houston Texan.
In his 8th year out of New Mexico, won a Pro Bowler in 2014. On 3rd and 2, design roll for Prescott on target. Beasley first down. Asa Jackson in coverage. He's their new nickel, just signed a couple of weeks ago off the Baltimore Ravens practice squad.
Just a quick out. Nice design by Scott Linehan, the offensive coordinator of the Cowboys. Cole Beasley leads the Cowboys in receptions and yards. A lot of people wouldn't expect that.
2 catches for Beasley tonight. 70 for the year. That is a career high. Still nearly 2 full games to go. From the Detroit 40, after the fake, Prescott juggled the ball a bit. Jason Witten rumbling down the far sideline and out of bounds inside the 20. Marked out at the 17-yard line. Johnson Batamosi chased him out, a pickup of 23.
You get the running game going, you fake the toss to Ezekiel Elliott, and everybody takes the cheese, and Kerry Hyder has no chance on the backside. And you see 57, Josh Bynes. You get so excited to stop Ezekiel Elliott, and these bootlegs and play action passes kill you.
Prescott 4 for 4 for 50 yards. And movement. Jason Witten and Kerry Hyder pointing at each other.
Offense number 82. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That's an uncommon mistake by Witten. Witten fumbled last week against Tampa. You rarely see the future Hall of Famer make a mistake, especially a false start on first down in the red zone.
Line of scrimmage now to 22. Cowboys on the move, opening possession. If blitz doesn't get there, the pass intended for Cole Beasley incomplete with Asa Jackson in coverage.
You know, this Detroit secondary, you have to give Terrell Austin, the defensive coordinator, credit. You're missing Darius Slay, Quandre Diggs, your nickel corner. Jonathan Batamose was a special teams player. He never started a game until he got to Detroit. He was a Cleveland Brown. And Asa Jackson, number 30, their nickel corner, was on the Baltimore Raven practice squad. And here they are in a must-win situation against America's team. Great work.
They've been bend but don't break all season long. Let's see if they can stop the Cowboys here near the 20. Elliott taken down shy of the 20. Tavon Wilson, 5th year out of Illinois, former New England Patriot, made the tackle.
That's good inside defense. Going to be a quick handoff. You see Lucky Whitehead crossing the formation. And Tavon Wilson, number 32, an excellent job taking down the big back.
They have the safety up near the line of scrimmage. 3rd down 14 for Dallas. They've held the ball now for nearly 5 minutes. Prescott with time to the end zone, and it is caught for a Dallas touchdown by Bryce Butler.
They get in a no-back set, Sean. They give Dak Prescott a lot of freedom. He recognizes an obvious two-deep zone defense. He gets the Cowboys in the proper play. The Cowboy pass protection is stellar. And they shred him. Butler right down this seam. But it's Prescott playing like a 5th-year seasoned veteran. He did it all with his recognition, his communication, and the execution. Puts Dallas up top.
A chance to make it 7-0 for Dan Bailey, who's never missed now in 244 career PATs. Impressive start for Dallas. Wondered about their motivation with the #1 seed already locked up, but they came out firing, particularly Prescott, 5 out of 6. ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA. By ESPNShop.com, powered by Dick's Sporting Goods. And by Taco Bell's $1 double stacked tacos. Coverage tonight from Skycam underneath the roof of AT&T Stadium. Brought to you by American Express. So Detroit in this very important game trailing 7-0. Andre Roberts back for the kickoff from Dan Bailey. Dallas marched impressively down the field, 9 plays to go 66 yards. Roberts, no chance.
Well, Sean, I told you about my fantasy group. You got to look for work if you're a center in pass protection. Watch Travis Frederick looking for work and plant Haloti Ngata. That allows your young quarterback to step up in the pocket. And if you're a left tackle, you have to win in one-on-one pass protection. They both get 10 points as Tyron Smith locks out Ziggy Ansah 3 years in a row. Frederick, Smith, and Martin have been to the Pro Bowl together, and they deserve it.
All of them first-round draft choices. So here's Detroit on offense for the first time. Matthew Stafford in his 8th year. Over the middle. Big hit as Anquan Bolden got blasted back by Anthony Hitchens, the middle linebacker. Homecoming for Stafford, now 28 years old, from just down the road, Highland Park, Texas. Averages 39.2 pass attempts per game. That is most in NFL history. They've had almost no ground game ever since he's been their quarterback. And he has a chance tonight to be the fastest quarterback ever to 30,000 career passing yards. This is game number 108 of his career. Zach Zenner through a hole. Flag down at the line of scrimmage, far sideline. Big gainer if it stands for Zenner to the Cowboy 46.
And a trap in Dallas, I believe, was offsides.
Offside. Defense number 93. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, first down.
And watch Matt Stafford in this offense led by Jim Bob Cooter. A lot of no huddle, up tempo to get Stafford time at the line of scrimmage to survey the defense and get Detroit in the best possible play selection.
20-yard run for Zach Zenner is his longest of the season. They're without Theo Riddick, an excellent pass-catching running back, and Amir Abdullah. And that pass is dropped on target. Derek Ebron, normally a sure-handed tight end. Even he can't believe he didn't hang on to that one.
That's a matchup, Sean, you're going to see a lot of tonight. Ebron against Jones. Jones is a very good coverage safety for the Cowboys, and if Detroit wants to stay alive, they're going to have to make those kind of catches.
They go to the pistol, which they use with regularity. Zenner was the running back. Stafford checks it down to him after the fake. Zenner works hard for a first down inside the Dallas 35-yard line, taken down by Barry Church.
I like this Zach Zenner. 3 years in a row at South Dakota State. He ran for over 2,000 yards.
Wow.
He's a good receiver, and Matt Stafford has confidence in the 220-pound Zenner, who's taking advantage of some snaps without Theo Riddick.
Zenner also very smart. He was accepted to some medical schools out of South Dakota State. Wants to go to med school eventually, but elected to first try professional football. 8 minutes to go, first quarter. Heavy rush. Irving couldn't get Stafford on the ground. Here's Zenner again in a starting role. First down Detroit, just shy of the 20-yard line. A pickup of 14.
That's an element that I haven't seen Matt Stafford do much of, and that's scramble, Sean. This man has over 200 yards rushing, a career high, and he's able to keep plays alive, running or passing. Good work by Stafford.
He's well aware of Irving, who was tremendous in the fourth quarter of their win against Tampa Bay here last weekend. Out of the gun on 1st and 10. The Lions trying to match the Cowboys score on Dallas's opening drive. Snapped at 2 seconds on the clock toward the end zone and incomplete. Intended for Marvin Jones with good coverage by the rookie out of Purdue, Anthony Brown.
Marvin Jones has to step up for the Lions. He has really struggled against press coverage the last few weeks. And Jones is going to have to beat the rookie 6th-rounder from Purdue. Got off to a great start. He's been awful quiet the last couple months, the ex-Cincinnati Bengal.
He was the leading receiver in the league after 3 weeks, but hasn't done much since. Back to the ground to Zenner.
Wow.
Zach Zenner. First down. Is it too early to say leading candidate for the postgame Gruden grinder as he gives them a first down for Jim Bob Cooter, the offensive coordinator? They're at the 10-yard line.
I like the way you say that. Zach Zenner zipping through there for a huge first down. The Lions have struggled in the red zone the last 3 weeks. Turned it over twice against the Giants last year. And Jim Bob Cooter told us, without Calvin Johnson as an outside receiver, things are a lot more difficult punching it in.
Well, Zenner had one of those red zone turnovers last week against the Giants in the second quarter. He was very grateful to the coaches for sticking with him. There's illegal motion. And they will stop the play. Anquan Bolden seemed confused.
Full start. Offense number 80. 5-yard penalty. First down.
There's the offense around Matthew Stafford. The big surprise so far, they've been able to run the ball on this opening drive. They've already rushed for 31 yards. They average just 82 yards rushing per game. Only the Rams and the Vikings average fewer rushing yards per game than Detroit. They lean heavily on the talents of Matthew Stafford, an MVP candidate. First and goal from the 15. Lead came on a blitz. Didn't get there. Catch made by Golden Tate, crossing over the middle and tackled at the 7-yard line by Orlando Scandrick.
And you look out there on that Cowboy defense, you see Randy Gregory, number 94, who's been suspended. This is the first time we've seen Gregory. Has had a litany of problems. They still believe in him. And it's important that he takes advantage of this playing time and shows the Cowboys he's for real.
Twice tested positive for marijuana at the University of Nebraska, again at the Combine in 2015. Zach Zenner, touchdown Detroit.
Well, the ball cuts back right at Gregory, and it's a walk-in touchdown. Watch Gregory come up the field, and he's no factor on this cutback run of Zach Zenner. Easy kick out for Eric Ebron, and what an impressive answer by the Detroit Lions on the road, and they used a no-huddle offense, and Matt Stafford did a great job getting Detroit in optimum plays.
Well, Jim Caldwell, the head coach, Jim Bob Cooter, the offensive coordinator, said they're going to stick with the run, continue to at least try to establish a running game. They did on this opening drive. Matt Prater adds the extra point. There is a flag down.
Well, Anthony Brown, number 30, ran into the kicker, and we'll see what Jim Caldwell does.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense. Detroit has elected to enforce this 15-yard penalty on the kickoff. Timeout.
How about the drive for Zach Zenner? He had 3 rushes for 38 yards, 2 catches for 25 yards, and the Detroit touchdown. Detroit Lions started tonight's game with just 5 rushing touchdowns all season, and no player had more than 1, so now Zach Zenner is the first Lions player with more than 1 rushing touchdown. Because of the penalty, running into the kicker, roughing the kicker. The kickoff comes from midfield, and it's downed by Lucky Whitehead. Each team's had it once. Each team has scored a touchdown. 7-7. Monday Night Football from Arlington, Texas. Warm night outside AT&T Stadium. It's still 69 degrees here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. They had a record high for Christmas Day yesterday. 80 degrees reached in much of Dallas-Fort Worth. What a stadium this is. More than 90,000 on hand. The roof closed. It is warm inside the building. Prescott after the play fake. Terrence Williams breaks a tackle and lunges ahead to the 31-yard line. DeAndre Levy made the tackle after Nevin Lawson missed.
Well, Detroit told us last night the #1 objective is stop Ezekiel Elliott. And to do that, you have to load the box. And Dallas has done a nice job taking advantage of that with some bootlegs. Keep an eye on that. The more they load the box, the more Dak Prescott's going to throw the ball.
Well, the I formation with Keith Smith, the fullback, and there's the power of Ezekiel Elliott to the 38-yard line and a first down. Levy, another stop for Dallas, for Detroit, rather.
Just a straight lead out of an old school two-back set. Emmitt Smith would like this run. This man makes a lot of yardage before contact, and he makes a lot of yardage after contact. Well done. Joe Looney, number 73, checks in as an extra tight end, Sean.
Elliott averages more than 3 yards per carry before first contact. Ball start against Bryce Butler.
Full start. Offense number 19. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Oh, this is a complete back, Sean. He can do it all, and he's done it all year for Dallas. He's a very good pass receiver. Nobody talks about it. You can use him a lot of different ways. And what a blitz pickup artist he is. He can stone these blitzers. He's got natural vision. He's a great finisher. He's got home run speed for a big back. Feed the beast. Closing in on Eric Dickerson's single-season rookie rushing record.
Prescott pulls it down and runs nearly to the 45-yard line. They're going to give him the 45. Chased down by Tahir Whitehead. 12-yard run for Prescott. 3 yards short of the first down.
240 pounds. Nobody open. He can create plays with his legs, and he is a hard man to tackle. Reminds me of a young Donovan McNabb, the ex-Philadelphia Eagle quarterback. Rare combination of size and passing ability.
53rd rush. He carried the ball 370 times over his last 2 seasons at Mississippi State. And for a while he had the Bulldogs #1 in the country. Here's Elliott into the secondary. Glover Quinn trying to run him down and running out of time. It's a touchdown for Elliott.
You call a blitz, you make a mistake, it's over. And Emmitt Smith likes what he sees. It's a beautiful cutback run. Asa Jackson came off the corner, he overran it, and Zeke Elliott rips him. Elliott can run the old school I formation runs. You can offset him into shotgun, and what a first-round pick by Jerry Jones and this organization.
4th pick overall in this year's draft. 55-yard run for a touchdown. Longest run of his career is 60 against Cincinnati. Dan Bailey the extra point. Ezekiel Elliott. The touchdown for Dallas in a 7-point lead. Ezekiel Elliott seemingly setting a record with every carry. 15 total touchdowns now. He breaks Herschel Walker's team record for a Cowboy rookie. It's his 14th rushing touchdown of the season. That's 3rd in the NFL this year, behind LeGarrette Blount of New England with 17. David Johnson of the Arizona Cardinals is 16. Dan Bailey kicks off. Returnable this time for Andre Roberts. Andre Roberts. Now the kicker Bailey chops him down as he approached the 40-yard line. Injured Cowboy is Anthony Brown, who is a part of their defense as a backup corner. They're putting Anthony Brown through some tests on the sideline. Rookie out of Purdue started tonight with Morris Claiborne, the veteran cornerback, out with a groin injury. 42-yard kickoff return for Andre Roberts, matching his longest of the season, has Detroit. in good shape. Second possession of the night for the Lions. Eric Ebron went leaping over Brandon Carr and got knocked down at the 48-yard line by Sean Lee.
And you see Orlando Scandrick checking in at left corner, and last year's first-round pick Byron Jones, normally their free safety, is now the nickel back without Anthony Brown.
Matthew Stafford with a four-man rush has time as a first down. Ebron again, some running room down the far sideline and nudged out of bounds by Brandon Carr. First down, Detroit at the Dallas 31.
This Detroit Lion offensive line doing a good job. Rookie at left tackle, Decker. Rookie at center, Glasgow, giving Stafford plenty of time to survey the defense. How about a rookie out of Ohio State right here, Taylor Decker, playing with a rookie out of Michigan, Graham Glasgow. Two very important selections by the Lions.
And they've become very good friends despite the heated Michigan-Ohio State rivalry. Anquan Bolden bounces off a hit. And J.J. Wilcox got back into the play to knock him down on the second try at the 25-yard line. Bolden now in his 14th year, 10th all-time in the National Football League in receptions, 1,069, and one away from tying Reggie Wayne for 9th place all-time. We have two of the top 10 all-time receivers in the NFL in this game tonight. Jason Witten, the Cowboy tight end, number 7 in career receptions. Minute to go in an entertaining first quarter. Zach Zenner. Seems like every time he touches the ball, it's a first down. That's a chain mover for the Lions to the 20.
Let me tell you, the Lions have invested a lot of resources in this offensive line. First rounders at right tackle, Riley Reif. Decker's a first rounder. Tomlinson at left guard is a first rounder, and Warford in their center are both third rounders. And this offensive line has played well tonight.
Zach Zenner has accounted for a touchdown and 5 first downs, so why not stick with him? Hard-earned 3-yard gain. And coach, that really does follow the Dallas model among others. Bob Quinn, the new GM for the Lions, is there after 16 years in New England. Parcells, Belichick always believed in building the strength on both lines, offense and defense, and Bob Quinn used his first 3 picks in his first draft with the Lions on linemen. 2 offensive linemen and a defensive lineman in Ashawn Robinson out of Alabama. 14-7 Dallas after 1. The Detroit Lions rushing game has really sputtered the last few years. It's been 50 games since they last had a player rush for 100 yards or more in a game. Reggie Bush, Thanksgiving of 2013, went for 117 against the Packers. That's the longest drought currently in the NFL, the longest in franchise history. Their leading rusher, Theo Riddick, has just 357 yards. He's not even dressed tonight with a wrist injury. That's the lowest rushing total for a team's leading rusher in the league. But Zach Zenner had a terrific first quarter. He's rushed for 47 already. Matthew Stafford, too long for Anquan Bolden, with Byron Jones in coverage.
And this Cowboy defense now checking into this dime package. 6 defensive backs, 3 down linemen. And you see number 38, safety man Jeff Heath. He's one of the triggers in this defense. They get speed on the field and they try to track down Stafford, who's known to scramble in these situations.
A lot of choices for Stafford. 3rd down and 7. They have 5 different players with 40 or more catches. Just a 3-man rush. Stafford back shoulder throw, caught. First down inside the 2-yard line. Marvin Jones, 1st and goal, Detroit.
That's the man they need. Marvin Jones got to beat press coverage, and he goes right after Orlando Scandrick, who is struggling with a foot injury. He's had a lot of problems with hamstrings this year, and I expect Stafford to go after Scandrick repeatedly tonight. Great throw.
Dallas has had the ball twice. Cowboys have scored 2 touchdowns. Second possession for Detroit. trying to score its second touchdown. They went after Scandrick again with Marvin Jones, and Stafford might have been throwing that one away.
It's a running play with a built-in pass option, and Jim Bob Cooter trusts Matt Stafford. It's a great relationship. They call a play, they come out of the huddle, and if Stafford likes it, he lets it rip. If he doesn't like it, he's got full authority to change it.
They try to run it in with Zenner on 2nd and goal. They fake it to him. Stafford running out of time, needs to throw it away, and finally he did. Does anybody try to run the ball in from the 1-yard line anymore?
Well, you just said the Lions don't have much of a running game. They clearly don't have much confidence in it, but in checks number 46, fullback Michael Burton. There's nobody open. It's a bootleg. They do have a fullback. Michael Burton has checked into the game. Will they run the football?
Dwayne Washington, the rookie, is now the tailback. 7th round draft choice. They give him the try, and he gets belted down short. So it'll be 4th and goal.
Jim Caldwell's going for it. Sean Lee, Anthony Hitchens. Read this isolation. Do a good job at the point of attack. 4th and goal from the 1. There is no Calvin Johnson. The Lions miss the jump ball artist of yesteryear.
They've been a very bad short yardage team all season long. Worst in the league, in fact, on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1. Stafford keeps it. No signal yet that he's in. And it looks like they're going to say he was stopped short of the goal line. And now tempers are flaring. Anthony Hitchens leading the way for the Dallas defense, and it looks like they've taken over with a goal line stand.
Quarterback sneak from just outside the 1 is ambitious. Did he cross the plane? Perhaps a challenge. I think he crossed the plane.
Yeah, boy, we had a brief view of the ball, and it looked
The ruling
like
on the field
it
is
was
the quarterback
above the
was
line
able to get in the end zone. Touchdown.
Yep, and that's what the call is. Touchdown. I think they got it right. Sigh of relief for Jim Caldwell. 3rd and 1, 4th and 1 this season. They've converted 53% of the time. That is the league low, and it took them 4 cracks to get it in.
How about the competitiveness of Matt Stafford? He will not quit.
The previous play is now under review.
Jason Garrett didn't like the call on the field. He hopes for relief from the replay. ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by GMC. We are professional grade. By Burger King. Try the $3.99 Whopper Junior deal only at BK. And by NFL.com/Pro Bowl on sale. Buy your tickets for the 2017 Pro Bowl in Orlando today. September 19th, 1994, Monday Night Football. The great Emmitt Smith. The equally great Barry Sanders.
After review, the ruling on the field stands as called. Touchdown.
Crowd doesn't like it. Jason Garrett was hot on the far sideline, but looked like from the replays, Stafford did break the plane with the ball and was not down. He was on top of bodies piled up below him. Pretty good look there at the ball above the line. And as you can see, his legs, elbows not down on the ground. Touchdown. So each team has had it twice. Each team has scored 2 touchdowns. And now Matt Prater, after a long wait, adds the extra point. 14 apiece early in the second quarter in Arlington. Sean McDonough, John Gruden, Lisa Salters. Our producer Jay Rothman, our director Chip Dean, our terrific Monday Night Football crew. Hope you've had a wonderful holiday weekend. This is a late holiday gift for football fans. We thought it would be an entertaining matchup, and it has been so far. Here's Lucky Whitehead weaving through the Detroit coverage and taken down from behind, shy of the 30-yard line. Run down by Don Carey, their leading special teams tackler. 21-yard return. Well, many of you saw last week Ezekiel Elliott jumped into a kettlebell after scoring. He's been productive on the field. 5th in the NFL in rushing average. No one's had more than his 7 games with 100 yards plus rushing. Now 3rd in the NFL in rushing touchdowns, with 2nd entering the weekend. He's added 1 to his total tonight. And after that leap into the kettlebell, donations way up for the Salvation Army. Dak Prescott eluded the rush and slides down after a 3-yard gain. He got away from Devin Taylor.
Devin Taylor unblocked for the sack, and you see the strength and elusiveness of Prescott. This Detroit defense, Sean, 8 weeks in a row, 20 points or less allowed. That has not happened in the Motor City since I don't know when, but they got to pick it up.
1961.
Yeah, thank you. They got to pick it up.
Yeah, that's the longest active streak in the league of holding the opponent 20 or less, and Prescott is leveled back at the 21-yard line. Ziggy Ansah, who's had a slow year with the sacks because of a high ankle sprain, suffered in week 2. That's just his 2nd sack of the season.
You want to make the playoffs and win the division, you got to beat the best. And Ziggy Ansah takes it to Tyron Smith for a huge sack. 14.5 a year ago. That ankle has bothered him all season. He got hurt in week 2. He had a sack last week against Eli Manning, and Ziggy's heating up.
So his first 2 sacks in back-to-back weeks. Only J.J. Watt and Khalil Mack had more sacks in the NFL last year. Now a flag down.
12 men in the huddle. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
5 penalties against Jason Garrett's Cowboys.
Pre-snap penalties, false starts, substitution. And on 3rd down and long, you can call this play.
3rd and 23. Prescott pressured, got it off the hands of Darren McFadden, and incomplete. So after marching down the field with relative ease in their first 2 possessions, the Cowboys will punt for the first time tonight.
It's an important stop for this Detroit defense. They have to get Matt Stafford the ball. They've done a great job of that the last 2 months, and with a limited group of secondary players, they set up Andre Roberts for potentially very good field position.
Chris Jones, the punter. Saw the graphic. Roberts 2 punt returns for touchdowns this year. Won't try this time. The ball sails out of bounds. He was going to make a fair catch had it stayed in. Excellent starting field position for Detroit. Officials still trying to figure out where to mark it. Looks like it'll be the 42-yard line. Sean McDonough, John Gruden, Lisa Salters had the first punt of the game by either team. Dallas, 37-yard punt by Chris Jones. An excellent field position for Detroit. 3rd possession for the Lions. They've scored touchdowns on each of the first 2, starting from their own 47-yard line. Pistol again for the Lions. Matthew Stafford in front of Zach Zenner. Wow. Newfound running game. And this is against the #1 rushing defense of the NFL. I mean, if you looked at this matchup, Detroit, which can't run the ball, against Dallas, which stops the run, you never would have thought this would be happening.
Well, Randy Gregory's playing for the first time tonight, and Matthew Mulligan at tight end is in there to do nothing but run the ball at Gregory, and they have taken advantage of him.
51 yards rushing for Zenner on just 6 carries. Stafford, deep throw. Jump ball. Marvin Jones couldn't come down with it. Orlando Scandrick had the coverage for the Cowboys.
Well, that's the matchup they're going after. Scandrick plantar fascia. I believe his left foot had hamstring problems early. And with Anthony Brown out, that's the third time they've gone after Orlando Scandrick. Randy Gregory at the bottom of the screen, a pass rush specialist working against the rookie Taylor Decker.
He only practiced 3 times. He could attend meetings, he could work out, but he couldn't practice while he was suspended. Just started practicing with the Cowboys this week. He comes on a rush and gets blocked. Stafford throws, caught, first down. Eric Ebron into Dallas territory to the 37. Nothing wrong with that middle finger on Matthew Stafford on that throw.
No, he can get out of trouble and make all the throws. He senses pressure. You see that grip. I've never seen a glove like that in my life. But what a throw to Ebron for a huge first down.
There's a splint taped to his finger. The glove over it. Well, the only finger that's covered by the glove is that middle finger. Said certainly it bothers him, but he thinks he can still play at a high level. Zenner trying to get outside to the right. Good cut toward the inside. And another quality first down run for Detroit. Anthony Hitchens made the tackle, but he got 7.
Detroit playing for their first division title, Sean, since 1993. And Matt Stafford, he was our guest on the bus last night. This man is completely focused, and they're using a no-huddle offense to give him time at the line, and he is ripping the Cowboys.
Loves playing here. Stafford grew up about 20 minutes from here. A lot of friends and family here. Grew up a big Cowboy fan. Used to wear Troy Aikman's jersey in his backyard. Stafford on target again. Golden Tate spins away for a few more. Down to the 16-yard line. Another first down for the Lions on a 14-yard gain.
Watch Stafford in the pocket. Jack Crawford unblocked, plants Matt Stafford on this play action pass, and you can't get the ball out of your hand any quicker from a more awkward release than he just did.
He's a terrific all-around athlete. He's 10 for 16 for 116 yards. On the delay, Zenner, and he is stacked up behind the line of scrimmage. Byron Jones leading the way for the Cowboys.
It's an excellent disguise by this Cowboy defense, and Stafford was disgusted with himself after that play. There's Rod Marinelli, one of the best in the business, former coach of the Detroit Lions.
And of course made history as the head coach of the only team ever to go 0-16 in the NFL.
Didn't have Matt Stafford, though.
No, he did not. Matter of fact, they wound up with the #1 overall pick as a result of that season in the following draft and picked Matthew Stafford. Stafford steps up, sidearm delivery to Ebron, and he gets blasted and then lunges forward with help from Joe Dahl, his rookie offensive lineman out of Washington State. And it's a first down on the 4th catch of the night for Eric Ebron.
Watch him change the launch spot and throw a dart sidearm for a first down. That's hard to do.
Well, he's like a great pitcher with a lot of different release points. One of his best pals is Clayton Kershaw, high school teammate, friend since the 2nd grade. Kershaw's here tonight cheering on Stafford. Zenner to the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit.
Right now, Detroit wants it more than Dallas does on defense. Malik Collins, the rookie defensive tackle, punished at the point of attack. Great movement up front. And Zach Zenner putting on a show.
They had 5 rushing touchdowns as a team for the season. Entering tonight, they've had 3 here in the first half tonight. And they're doing it against the #1 rushing defense in the league and the #4 scoring defense. Dallas started the night giving up 18.4 points per game. Detroit's already past that. Only New England, Seattle, and the Giants better in scoring defense this season than the Cowboys. Matt Prater. And he added the first Lions lead of the night. It's now 7 points. 53 yards in 8 plays. What a night for Zach Zenner. 2 touchdowns. He's rushed for 62 yards on 9 carries. Back at AT&T Stadium, here's a graphic we didn't think we'd see tonight. A comparison of Zach Zenner and Ezekiel Elliott. Alliteration. ZZ and EE. But Ezekiel Elliott was the leading rusher in the league by far. Starting the night, Zach Zenner had rushed for 198 yards in their first 14 games. He's rushed for 62. Elliott has 5 more, but 55 of those came on 1 run for the rookie out of Ohio State. Sam Martin looked like he slipped a bit on the kick. Here's Lucky Whitehead. Stopped by the Lions at the 24-yard line. Scott Linehan calling the play. Elliott will not be on the field for first down. And Jason Garrett talked about keeping the pedal to the metal, playing like they've played to get to 12-2. They don't want to lose any rhythm. But it looks like we mentioned some subs in on the defense. Elliott not in here on first down. Darren McFadden, the tailback, just back to start this season last week. Missed all the action prior with an elbow injury that required surgery. He weaved his way out to the 31-yard line. Josh Bynes the stop.
I like to be the running back coach of the Dallas Cowboys. You get to coach Ezekiel Elliott. He gets tired. You bring in McFadden, a top 5 pick of the Oakland Raiders. He had 1,100 yards last year. And they got a guy named Alfred Morris who had 1,600 yards as a rookie for the Washington Redskins.
He's not even active tonight. Second down and 3 Dallas. Lions crowding the line of scrimmage. McFadden did well. Get near that first down marker.
Just running a zone play off the right side, and Tahir Whitehead, number 59, has had a great year for the Lions. Forces the ball back inside. Whitehead has taken over in the middle linebacker position for the Lions after Stephen Tulloch got hurt. Going to have to step up in this short yardage situation.
Third down, about a foot, and Ezekiel Elliott off the field on first and second down. In there now, moving, finger pointing. It looked like a false start on Doug Free.
False start.
Boy.
Offense number 68. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
Would all these pre-snap penalties be indicative of a team that maybe mentally isn't into it with the #1 seed already clinched?
Well, perhaps. Don't want to make excuses for anybody, but this is pro football, and pre-snap penalties, inexcusable.
So now Lance Dunbar in there as their third down back. Third down, 5.5. Late blitz. Prescott runs, and he gets stacked up. He's fighting, won't get there. And if I'm a Cowboy fan, that's the kind of play that has me really nervous with an eye toward the playoffs.
And if I'm a Lion fan, I love Tahir Whitehead. I agree with you, Sean, but number 59, left side of your screen. He sees this quarterback take off, and he stuffs that Prescott short of the first down. That's a team with playoffs on their mind. Great effort to the football by Detroit.
Chris Jones to punt for Dallas with 5 minutes to go in the half. T.J. Jones back deep for it. Ordinarily it's Roberts back there. Jones didn't catch it, and that's a mistake. Goes out of bounds near the 10-yard line. Among the 90,000 plus in attendance tonight here at AT&T Stadium, Clayton Kershaw, the first man greeted by Matthew Stafford. Longtime friends grew up together just outside Dallas. Met each other in the second grade, started playing soccer together, football, basketball, baseball teammates. For a while, Kershaw was the center when Stafford was the quarterback. Of course, at Highland Park High School, 2006, Kershaw went 13-0, had an ERA of under 1. Went on to win 3 Cy Young Awards, perhaps more. Stafford led Highland Park to a 15-0 record and a state title. He threw for more than 4,000 yards. Zach Zenner on first down from the 10 got 2.
I think Doak Walker went to that high school.
He did. Bobby Lane did as well.
It's a job I want.
They won another state title this year. Dak Prescott and the Cowboys scored on their first 2 possessions. They've had 2 punts since. Pass incomplete, intended for Marvin Jones. With Brandon Carr in coverage, it'll be 3rd down and 8 for Detroit. 4:10 to go in the half. Both teams with all 3 timeouts.
Brandon Carr at right corner. Hasn't missed a start since 2008. May never live up to the $50 million contract, but he shows up every single week. 3rd and long. Can Dallas mount a pass rush?
They don't blitz much, but when they do blitz, it's usually effective. They blitz and they get there. Stafford taken down inside the 5-yard line.
What this defense does, they respond to adversity. It appears every week. They have been gashed. It's going to be a stunt. Watch Benson Mayowa, left side of your screen. You see what Sean Lee did. He picked the tackle, and Mayowa came scot-free. Look at number 50, Sean Lee, run over the left tackle, and it freed Mayowa for a huge play.
Sam Martin on to punt from the end zone. Very high. Great kick. Lucky Whitehead from his own 44. Trying to find some place to go. And did well to return it for 5 yards. Antoine Williams finally swung him down. 54-yard punt, a return of 5 for Whitehead. 21-14, Detroit leading Dallas. Des Bryant, those numbers surprised me as we were preparing for the game, Coach. The 1 catch tonight is 47th of the season. He's 85th in the league in receptions.
It is odd. He missed 3 games in October with a knee injury. This is a run-first offense. They're not spinning it like they did when Romo was at quarterback, but they need to get this man the football down the field. He's one of the best. And the Lions have a lot of backup defensive backs.
3 wide receivers to the left. Ezekiel Elliott crosses midfield. Dallas 49, the Cowboys' best starting field position of the night. And Elliott got 3. Nevin Lawson made the tackle for Detroit.
Des Bryant, 65 career touchdown receptions, and Scott Linehan has done a great job spreading the ball around. They have been balanced, but I know everyone in Dallas is waiting on Bryant to explode.
Prescott, far sideline. There's Des Bryant. It looked like he got just enough for the first down. They'll give him the Detroit 40. First down, Cowboys. 2:34 to go in the half.
Got to go after number 29, Johnson Batamosi. 4 years he played in Cleveland. He never started a game. He's a great special teams player. He's in his 3rd start as a Lion. I would probe that matchup all night.
Bryant very glad Darius Slay is inactive tonight with a hamstring injury. Slay's done very well in previous matchups head-to-head against Bryant. The screen after the fake. Elliott stayed on his feet. Great balance. They were grabbing at his legs but couldn't upend him. And he got 12 and a Cowboy first down.
What a beautiful thing. You run a screen pass with athletic linemen leading it, Martin, Frederick, and you drop the ball off to a man like Ezekiel Elliott. Good things are going to happen. Number 70, Martin, 72, Frederick. Clean it up for the great Zeke Elliott.
Takes us to the 2-minute warning. NFL Foundation, NFL teams running a program to help increase access to athletic trainers in high schools around the country. 2-minute warning. Dallas on the move, trailing 21-14. John Hussey, the referee, in to stop the action before the snap.
That used to drive me crazy. You show the defense your formation and resume play.
Ezekiel Elliott, the lone running back. 3 wide receivers for Dallas on 1st and 10 from the Lion 28. Elliott spun around. Big hit. Kerry Hyder in there with help from Ashawn Robinson.
You see the quarterback kill it from a run to the right to a run to the left, and watch this hit. Zeke Elliott and Kerry Hyder, number 61. That's a defensive lineman bouncing off a halfback. Keep an eye on Dunbar. They love him when he checks in.
Prescott throws short and too low for Jason Witten. Tahir Whitehead had the coverage. 3rd down and 7 for Jason Garrett and the Cowboys.
On 3rd down and long, rookie Miles Killebrew checks in for the Lions defense. He's wearing number 35. He's a safety. They use him as a linebacker, and when he comes into the game, they like to shake it up with some crazy looks.
Dallas has been the worst 3rd down team in the NFL over the previous 3 weeks. 19%. Two out of 4 on 3rd down tonight. Prescott pulls it down and got taken down from behind by Kerry Hyder. John Gruden's pregame Gruden grinder. What a big play, because if he doesn't get him on the ground, that's a 1st down for sure. There is a flag down on the play. It's in the offensive backfield.
There are 2 fouls on the play, 1 by each team. Holding, offense number 68. Holding, defense. Both those fouls offset. Replay 3rd down.
Doug Free guilty of the hold for Dallas. No number given on the Detroit hold for Jim Caldwell.
Kerry Hyder, what a story he is. 300-pound defensive lineman last year. They said lose 35 pounds, move to end if you want to make this team, and that's just what he did. Leads the team in sacks. Now he goes inside to work against Ron Leary.
And a homecoming native Texan from Austin, went to Texas Tech. Had played 2 snaps in 2 years in the NFL prior to this year. Prescott toward the end zone, bodies tangled, flag down, catch made by Des Bryant for a touchdown if it stands.
No doubt it's on Batamosi, a backup right corner, and credit to Batamosi, you can't have better coverage, but the great Des Bryant with his 66th career TD.
Defense number 29. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is a touchdown.
Unbelievable concentration by Bryant. He's got his hands on Batamosi's face mask. Batamosi gets called with the penalty, but you sit up here in the press box, Sean, you know it's a matter of time before they probe that matchup repeatedly.
7th touchdown catch of the season for Des Bryant. That is the team high. It's his 6th career touchdown in just 4 games against Detroit. He's had at least 1 in all 4 of those games against the Lions. And Dan Bailey will try to tie the game at 21 with 1:04 to go in the half. 25-yard touchdown. game-setting penalties were big. No number given on the Detroit hold, but it was key. Gave them a chance on third down again, and they capitalized. Dez Bryant with his 66th career receiving touchdown, out of the tie for second in Cowboys history with Michael Irvin alone in second now, behind only the great Bob Hayes. Bullet Bob back in the 60s and 70s, 71 touchdown catches for Dallas. Derek Dooley, the wide receiver coach, between Beasley and Bryant. Dan Bailey kicks off. Andre Roberts sidelined with a shoulder injury, so Batamosi just back there to field it and take a knee.
Second time I've seen this rookie quarterback audible for touchdowns. He sees man-to-man coverage. He gives everybody the protection and the hand signal, and you see center Travis Frederick fix things up front. And there's the matchup he saw. Batamosi against Dez Bryant, and what do you stop? If you gang up on Elliott, these receivers kill you. And Dak Prescott doing a lot of great things with his football aptitude.
And as usual, very accurate, 9 out of 12 tonight. 5-man rush, Matthew Stafford, short throw, run after the catch. T.J. Jones getting more snaps on offense without Andre Roberts on the field, and they're going to mark him just shy of a first down.
And Anquan Bolden is hurt.
Jim Caldwell upset. The official on the near sideline ran all the way to the ball to remark it, and several seconds ran off the clock while he was doing that. And they stopped it for a moment and winded again, but they still lost seconds while the official was running at the ball. Stafford ducked away from the rush and throws it away. Pursued by Damian Wilson, the linebacker.
It's this package that Dallas has run this season with great success. 3 down linemen, 2 linebackers, and 6 defensive backs. They can blitz from it, and they can play a multiple coverage scheme with it. They have a lot of speed on the field if the quarterback scrambles. Third down is short.
Matthew Mulligan in at tight end. Typically when he's on the field, they run the ball. 33 seconds to go, all 3 timeouts left for Detroit. No run there. Stafford nearly threw an interception off the hands of Orlando Scandrick, looking for T.J. Jones.
Stafford lucky there. Sprint out to his right. Ball hit Scandrick right between the numbers, and first time I've seen Stafford make a mistake tonight.
They had a foot to go for a first down. Couldn't get it. They were short on time, so elected not to just run a short yardage play to move the chains even with 3 timeouts. Sam Martin on the punt. It's a bad bounce for the Lions. They'll down it near the 30-yard line. 15 seconds to go in the half. Then the Toyota halftime. Boomer's final drive. Among the subjects, Ben Roethlisberger and Hugh Jackson. First take crew with their take on the Dallas Cowboys, and news and notes from the great Adam Schefter, the latest on Derek Carr. Broken leg over the weekend. He and Marcus Mariota. Tennessee's not going to the playoffs. Oakland will be without Derek Carr. That's too bad. He had a great season.
No doubt. 2 great young quarterbacks. We wish them well.
And that, to some, added to the argument that perhaps the Cowboys should rest some of the regulars like Prescott. Ezekiel Elliott, the carry. Neither team will stop the clock, and a very entertaining first half will end with Detroit and Dallas tied at 21. The Lions will get the ball to start the second half. Stay with us. Chris Berman will have the Toyota halftime for you in just 30 seconds. The Detroit Lions win tonight. They're in the playoffs. They're tied with the #1 seed in the NFC in the upcoming playoffs, the Dallas Cowboys, here at AT&T Stadium, Arlington, Texas. Sean McDonough, John Gruden, delighted to have you with us. Good numbers for the quarterbacks. Matthew Stafford, 137 yards passing. But, Coach, the good news for him so far tonight, there's actually a little bit of a running game to help him along.
Yeah, it always helps. And you have to admire the Cowboys. Their seed is all set. I admire the way they came out here and played their starters. But we said at the top of the broadcast, it's all going to come down to Stafford and his gunslinging. And he's at his best in tight football games. It's going to be an exciting finish.
It should be a terrific second half. Stafford hoping he won't need fourth quarter heroics. They've won 9 games this year. In 8 of them, they've come from behind to win in the fourth quarter. That is the single season NFL record for fourth quarter comebacks. And when you start to have a season like that, there's the belief. You kind of believe it's your season. Things are going to go our way. We're going to be a playoff team.
Exactly. They all believe in their quarterback. Their kicker, Prater, has hit some game winners, and their defense has stepped up. They enjoy crunch time, this team. It's a credit to Coach Caldwell, but can they hold off the Dallas Cowboys and earn a trip to the playoffs?
Detroit would get the ball first to begin the second half. Andre Roberts, who was not out there for a couple of kickoff and punt returns late in the first half, is on the field now for Detroit. Dan Bailey will kick off. Very even first half. Dallas at 214 total yards, 192 for Detroit. And a bomb by Bailey. Touchback out to the 25. Here's Lisa Salters.
Hey, Sean, well, I asked Jason Garrett why the Lions were able to be successful running the ball against the best rushing defense in the league, and he said there's really no excuse, but we have a lot of guys banged up on our defensive line. Defensive end Ryan Davis is out with a knee injury. Defensive tackle Terrell McLean is out with an ankle injury. Garrett told me he didn't think either one of those guys would return, and though defensive end Randy Gregory suffered an oblique strain in the first half, Garrett said he's going to try to play through it, but he said that they are down now to just 5 defensive linemen. Sean?
Well, at least we'll see if Detroit takes advantage of that. Out of the pistol, Zach Zenner got belted by J.J. Wilcox. He has a reputation as being the Cowboys' biggest hitter, and he lived up to it with that hit.
Boy, did he fill the lane. That's an old school safety hit that time. 27, Wilcox. Lowers the boom.
In his 4th year out of Georgia Southern. 3 receivers now. Zach Zenner on the left hip of Stafford. Throws short over the middle. Ebron got 8. They'll give him forward progress out to the 33-yard line. Anthony Hitchens led the way, driving him back.
Stafford was very impressive in the first half. He showed good mobility in the pocket. He kept his eyes downfield. Big third down conversion. How about this toughness in the pocket? And then some of these awkward delivery throws to keep drives alive. You forget about it. Third down is short. Lions struggle in short yardage situations.
Quick set by Stafford. First down. Anquan Bolden shoved out of bounds at the 39-yard line by Byron Jones.
This good play design. You're going to see Marvin Jones, left side of your screen, pick off the flat defender, and it's first down for the Lions.
And a milestone for Bolden. I'll tell you about in a moment. His 3rd catch of the night. 1,070 for his career. So they have that straight. Here comes a late blitz. Byron Jones was stopped. Stafford throws a bullet incomplete. Golden Tate thought he was being held. There's a flag down. Orlando Scandrick had the coverage.
Going to be holding.
Holding, 34 of the offense. 10-yard penalty, first down.
We mentioned the milestone for Bolden. with 1,070 catches now, tied for 9th all time in most receptions in NFL history, only 8 away. And Terrell Owens in the 8th spot.
Here comes a blitz.
Stafford stressed out against a 3-man rush, and Malik Collins got him back inside the 20-yard line. So the holding penalty and now a Dallas sack.
They showed the blitz and they bluff it. And number 96, Malik Collins, on a mistake by the Lion offensive line, hunts Matt Stafford. Dallas has come out with an aggressive game plan to start the third quarter.
Play clock at 2. They bluffed another blitz. Stafford's going to run. No, he's not. Pulled up just shy of the line, and it's an interception. Ricocheted into the arms of J.J. Wilcox.
Trying to do too much. That time Stafford to his left makes a critical error under fire.
Off the hands of Brandon Carr into the hands of Wilcox. First turnover of the game for either team. One of the reasons why Detroit is in position to make the playoffs, they have minimized the turnovers. Just their 13th of the season, 5th fewest in the NFL.
Great time to take a shot at the top of the screen. Batamosi versus Bryant. Don't be surprised.
And Johnson Batamosi right up there in press coverage. Ezekiel Elliott off right guard. Got launched back after a short gain. Ashawn Robinson at the bottom of the pile with Tavon Wilson up top. Hard to believe, Coach. Only one Dallas Cowboy, with all the great players they've had, has ever been the MVP of the National Football League. It was Emmitt Smith. And now there are 2 rookies on this Dallas team that have a chance to earn that honor. Elliott and Prescott. You get to debate which one is more valuable on this team. Prescott looking for Bryant, bumping again, and a flag thrown on Nevin Lawson.
This is Bryant, a handful for Jim Caldwell and the Lions.
Pass interference. Defense number 34. Ball replacing spot of foul. Automatic. First down.
And ordinarily that would be Darius Slay, their best corner, on Bryant for most of the night, but he's out with a hamstring.
What you do, you have coaches in the press box that see how they are defending Des Bryant, and they make great adjustments. They have a lot of weapons, and on first down and goal, Elliott back in a familiar position.
31-yard penalty, first and goal Cowboys from just inside the 5-yard line. Crowd calling for Zeke. They give it to Zeke. He gives a stiff arm and gets to the 2-yard line. Tavon Wilson, the big tackle. Mentioned a few turnovers, Coach, for Detroit. 12 starting tonight. Only once have they given up a touchdown after they've turned it over. The defense has been great in these situations.
Well, the other hand's full now. Open formation, no back set. Alert for Prescott on a quarterback draw. He has 6 rushing touchdowns himself.
Elliott out of the game. They go with an empty set. Prescott. Flag down in the end zone. Prescott belted out of bounds. Tahir Whitehead hit him high. There was a flag thrown in the end zone.
Holding against Detroit, I believe, in the secondary. Here comes the heavy artillery for the Cowboys.
Before the pass, holding, defense number 29. That penalty will be half the distance from the end of the run. Automatic, first down.
Top of your screen, Batamosi 29 in the slot, Carey 26. Looks like they got Batamosi, and crowd loves Zeke Elliott.
He's back out there.
Watch out for the Salvation Army bucket.
They like their chances. They've scored a touchdown in each of their last 14 goal-to-go situations. Elliott turns the corner. Touchdown, Dallas.
Powerful man with speed to get the edge. And Matt Stafford, interception, costly. Makes it look easy, doesn't he, Sean?
He sure does. And everything you'd want in a running back. So Dallas has the lead again. And Dan Bailey will try to make it 7. Nearly 5 minutes into the second half. Second rushing touchdown of the night for Ezekiel Elliott. ESPN Monday Night Football is brought to you by Taco Bell's $1 double stack tacos. And by NFLshop.com. Get free shipping on orders today at the official store of the NFL. Look at the members of our audio, video, and replay teams. Happy holidays from our entire ESPN Monday Night Football family. Many of these men and women away from their family on the holiday to bring you Monday Night Football. A lot of our crew members brought the family along for a delightful weekend here in Dallas.
They sure did. What a team we have. And happy holidays.
Your son Michael having a good time here hanging out with our audio crew tonight.
Yep.
Andre Roberts won't run it out. Detroit trailing again as Stafford and the Lions go back on offense, down by 7. Well, coming up, NFL wildcard playoff weekend. We'll have a game for you. Broadcast simultaneously on ESPN and ABC for the second year in a row. Matchup day and time still to be determined. It'll be decided after Week 17's games. Happy to have the NFL postseason back on ESPN and ABC. Streaming live on Watch ESPN. First and 10, Detroit. Lions from their own 25, down by 7. 10:19 to go, third quarter. Matthew Stafford, short set, and the quick throw to Matthew Mulligan.
Wow.
8th year out of the University of Maine, just his 18th career catch. When he's in there, it is usually to block.
That is called a tendency breaker. Throwing the ball to Mulligan.
They took a Mulligan.
And again, in a no-huddle offense, rookie Dwayne Washington out of Washington as a setback.
They ran the ball surprisingly well in the first half, and it seems like now they're going away for it. They've been waiting all year to run the ball, and now that they have, they've stopped running it. They're trying to pick up the yard on short yardage, and it looked like Washington got the 2, although the spot from the near side official is not going to be to the line.
What a play by Sean Lee. Off the backside, he penetrates and makes this tackle, and he came in with 168 tackles. What a play.
Washington gets the first down that time. The first 3 series of the game, Detroit rushed for 63 yards. The next 3 series, just 2 yards rushing, so they've reverted back to form, although they did pick up the first down on the ground there.
I go back to Sean Lee. For him not to make the Pro Bowl this year, I think is a big mistake. All you have to do is watch the Giant film from a couple weeks ago. 22 tackles, a franchise record. He's the quarterback and the heart and soul of the Dallas Cowboys.
He's never played 16 games in a season in his career. He's played every snap this season. The throw for Eric Ebron is low. And he said, even though they've clinched the #1 seed, I want to play every snap of every game.
There he is on a blitz. Missed 10 games in 2012. Missed 5 in 2013. Missed every game in 2014. Made the Pro Bowl last year, and I can't say enough about how fun it is to watch him play.
And he was classy about not being picked this year. He said he was disappointed, but appreciates the talents of those who made it, like Luke Kuechly, even though Kuechly was injured for a lot of the year. Pass for Ebron incomplete. Bobby Wagner, the leading tackler in the league of the Seahawks, picked at linebacker.
Here comes Dallas with that 32 dime package, Sean. They've had a couple sacks, an interception, 3 down linemen, 2 linebackers. They have blitzed, they have disguised, then run out of a blitz. Let's see what Dallas does here. This look has Detroit's number.
Dallas has the 4th lowest blitz rate in the league, but they have the 2nd highest success rate in sacks when they do blitz. Lee almost got there. Stafford throws and almost intercepted. J.J. Wilcox got in front of Marvin Jones.
Well, it's just a 4-man rush, but it's the matchups that they create. They get Sean Lee one-on-one with a running back, and he walks Zach Zenner back to Stafford. Stafford loses his eye contact down the field, and it's almost intercepted again. Matt Stafford has been running for his life, and a lot of it has to do with this package defensive coordinator Rod Marinelli has thrown at Detroit.
Sam Martin, 4th-year punter out of Appalachian State, and a very good one. Lucky Whitehead from the 10. Boy, a flag thrown a mile by the official on the far sideline. Whitehead taken out of bounds near sideline by Miles Killebrew. Helmet came off, and he got up looking like he was ready to rumble. 54-yard punt, 17-yard return. And a team looking for a quarterback might want to sign up that official on the far sideline.
During the kick, holding, offense number 31. Half the distance to goal, first down, timeout.
Byron Jones called for the Cowboy penalty. They'll start from their own 10-yard line after this. The race in the NFL this year seems to be wide open. Certainly Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott, the Cowboy rookies, are in the conversation. The only rookies ever been the NFL MVP, the great Jim Brown out of Syracuse in 1957. And we mentioned earlier, shockingly to me, the only Cowboys ever been the NFL MVP, Emmitt Smith, the league's all-time leading rusher. Do you have a favorite right now? There's still a couple of weeks left of the regular season.
I'm going my TB12 up in New England.
Tom Brady, hard to argue. On first down, deep in their own territory. Dangerous throw by Prescott. The catch made by Terrence Williams with Nevin Lawson right there. Well, there are a lot of interesting candidates. I think Matt Ryan of the Atlanta Falcons, certainly the candidate. Derek Carr got hurt yesterday. He has to be in the mix.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers for sure. He said when they were 4-6, I think we could run the table. And if they beat the Packers, the Lions get beaten by the Packers beat the Lions next week, they will have run the table from 4-6. That'll be the showdown no matter what happens here tonight. Detroit and Green Bay will play for the NFC North title next Sunday night. The Lions will try to win their first division title since 1993. Ezekiel Elliott, the ball carrier.
That is a great play by Tavon Wilson, the ex-New England Patriot. We used to call that a crack and replace, Sean. Everybody cracks down to the inside, and the corner has to replace, step up and make the tackle. That time, great work by Wilson in a one-on-one tackling situation against Elliott. And Terrell Austin, the defensive coordinator of the Lions, takes great pride in the way his Lions tackle.
On 2nd and 10, that is a typical Dallas pass play right there. That line gives Prescott all day to throw, and he finds Terrence Williams for a first down out to the 30-yard line. a gain of 14.
Well, it's like 7 on 7. I mean, you look right, you look left, find the open guy, and get on with the game.
I don't want to diminish the talents of Prescott or Elliott, but you wonder, what would they be doing if they were behind some of the offensive lines that we've seen this year that are dreadful?
It's my fantasy football group, the offensive line of the Cowboys.
Maybe they should be the MVP, collective MVP. Prescott going deep, all kinds of time again, and on the money to Terrence Williams. Into Lions territory to the 41-yard line with Johnson Batamosi trying to cover.
This is great play selection by Scott Linehan. It's a loaded box. It's an I formation. Everybody in Detroit thinks it's a running play. Prescott comes out on play action. He has one-on-one coverage. And there's Batamosi, a man that has had his hands full all night in man-to-man coverage.
To 74.5% for Prescott. It's actually down considerably from last week against Tampa Bay when he completed just under 89%. Elliott thrown down and a flag thrown on A'Shawn Robinson for the body slam of Elliott to the ground.
An interesting call here. I don't see anything here. That's just good defense.
They're trying to get the guy on the ground.
After the play was over, personal foul, defense number 91, picking up the player and throwing him to the ground unnecessarily. Automatic, first down.
Or what some might call a tackle. That's a joke. That's terrible.
Usually you don't see a 230-pound running back get that call, but it's costly, and Jim Caldwell doesn't like it at all.
Nor should he. You're trying to stop him. You pick him up. He's off the ground. What are you supposed to do? Gently place him on the ground, hold him in midair so they blow the whistle. That were basically the options. Prescott down the seam for Witten, and an incomplete pass. They are in field goal range.
Excuse me, Sean. Witten never turned around. It's a trap pass. Prescott wanted to throw the ball to Witten before the linebacker Whitehead could recover, but Witten never turned around. Timing clearly off, and the 10-time Pro Bowler out of Tennessee has had a hard time getting on the stat sheet tonight.
Let's talk about another guy who just never comes off the field, Jason Witten, at age 34. Elliott reset back in the backfield.
Oh boy.
Prescott reminiscent of his days at Mississippi State. First down just shy of the 10-yard line. Batamosi made the tackle for the Lions.
It's an element that they did not have with Tony Romo. Prescott, we said earlier, has 6 rushing touchdowns, and it's because of this zone read that he brought from Starkville, Mississippi to the Big D. Too much to defend. You got to stop Bryant. You got to stop Elliott. You have to stop Witten, and you forget that Dak Prescott is a 240-pound quarterback that can run and pass.
And a really nice job of using plays like that selectively.
Oh boy.
Bryant's going to throw, and Witten's wide open. Scott Linehan with a great call for a Dallas touchdown.
Jerry Jones, the owner of the Cowboys, has got to be loving the show that his Cowboys are putting on tonight. Going to be a reverse, you think, to Des Bryant. You forget he's left-handed. He throws it to our man Jason Witten, and the Cowboys have a 2-score lead. Great design, outstanding execution, and
first pass of Bryant's career. Who knew he was a lefty? And Bailey, extra point, the biggest lead of the night for either team. They've been back and forth. Each had a 7-point lead. Now it's 14 after a 95-yard drive on 8 plays. Michael Irvin holds the mark for most receiving yards in Dallas Cowboys history, but not for long. Jason Witten hot on his heels, and even closer now, 26 yards away after that touchdown reception a moment ago. When he passes Irvin, he'll put Witten in elite company, be just the third tight end in NFL history to lead his franchise all-time in receiving yards. It'll be the fourth. Ozzie Newsome, Tony Gonzalez, Antonio Gates. Browns, Chiefs, Chargers, respectively. Andre Roberts takes a knee. Touchback. 4 minutes to go, third quarter. Dallas by 14. Coverage tonight from Skycam, brought to you by American Express. 92,885 here at AT&T Stadium tonight. And watch the Cowboys score on each of their first two possessions of the second half, as they did in the first half. Overall 21 unanswered points. Dallas from 7 down to take a 14-point lead. Zach Zenner, a hard-earned 3. Knocked down by Jack Crawford, fifth-year man out of Penn State.
And Jim Bob Cooter, the offensive coordinator, has to solve this 32 dime package that has owned the Lions in the second half. Here it is again.
Detroit now has 17 yards of offense in this quarter. Quick top, Bolden struggling to hang on, and he did. Long enough to get the first down just across the 35-yard line. The tackle made by Damian Wilson.
And Matt Stafford in a no-huddle offense, picking up the tempo. He's been here most of the night.
Trying to set up a screen, and the pass deflected. Irving
6
the
foot
pressure.
Yeah, 6'7", Sean. Sorry, he's claimed off the Kansas City's practice squad. Where does Dallas find all these players? He ruined Tampa Bay's night a couple weeks ago. Had 2 sacks, numerous hits on Jameis Winston. He can play inside or outside, and will they bring the blitz?
Three-man rush. Stafford, wobbly pass, caught, and there's Wilcox with another big hit. First down, 48-yard line of Dallas for Golden Tate.
What a throw by Stafford. Got hit by Collins. Mistake up front again.
He hasn't thrown his usual tight spirals all night long, but certainly that splint on the finger is going to impact the flight of the ball. Five-man rush. Stafford throws away from it. Roberts, first down, out of bounds inside the 35-yard line, shoved out by Brandon Carr at the 34.
A lot of new veteran receivers on this Lion team. They acquired Tate in free agency from Seattle a couple years ago, but they bring in Roberts, Bolden, and Marvin Jones, and now number 13, T.J. Jones, has checked in for the Lions.
Very impressed by the job Bob Quinn has done, the new general manager. In a very short period of time at Detroit, all of the draft picks were either on the active roster or on injured reserve. And as you said, Coach, they brought in some veterans who have really made a difference as well. That pass intended for T.J. Jones on a quick slant, incomplete.
Jim Bob Cooter spent a lot of time at the University of Tennessee as a player, was a walk-on player. Peyton Manning has a lot to do with Jim Bob Cooter. He was a teammate of his at Tennessee and has followed him throughout the professional ranks. Very good young coach.
He's just 32 years old. His name already being mentioned as a possible head coaching candidate. Good protection by that Lions line. Anquan Bolden, short gain, 29-yard line. They'll need 5 more to move the chains with under a minute and a half to go in the third quarter.
And can rookie running back Dwayne Washington with fellow rookies. Decker at left tackle, Glasgow at center. Solve this pressure package of the Cowboys with their season on the line.
On 3rd and 5, Stafford steps into the throw too high for T.J. Jones.
Brandon Carr. He has come up big for Dallas this season. Excellent coverage. Nowhere to go, and here's Prater. I believe he's 30 for 33, Sean. He has been a clutch long-range field goal kicker for Detroit.
30 for 33 for the season. Be a 47-yard try. First attempt of the night for the 10-year veteran out of Central Florida. It was a very big leg. And that kick is no good.
Good snap, good hold. Just missed it.
Oh, so close, but wide left. He's been a big part of their success, a key part of their comebacks in the fourth quarter. Do they have another one in them tonight? Matthew Stafford trying to find some offense on the near sideline. Prater, the rare miss. Still a 14-point deficit for Detroit. Your brother Jay Gruden, the coach of the Redskins in Washington, their fans, second week in a row they have to cheer for the Dallas Cowboys. Looking for help. Last week they got help from the Cowboys knocking off Tampa Bay, helping the Redskins wildcard hopes. Tonight hoping for the same against the Lions.
It's a crazy world when Washington starts cheering for Dallas.
Darren McFadden, the running back, on first down for the Cowboys. From the 37. The toss. Tyron Smith leading the way. First down and much more. Out of bounds in Lion territory at the 45-yard line.
Keep an eye on Tyron Smith, their great left tackle. He led that sweep. He's going to pull around the left side, and a cornerback is going to come up and take his lowers out. It's a great play by Smith, escorting McFadden, but that is a man that is irreplaceable at the left tackle position.
Missed a couple of games earlier in the year with a back issue. 6th year out of USC. Former #1 pick. McFadden up the middle. Down inside the 40-yard line on what will be the last play of the third quarter. The quarter controlled by the #1 seed in the NFC, the Dallas Cowboys. On to the fourth quarter we go. Monday Night Football from Arlington, Texas. Now we're looking at the right knee of Tyron Smith, the great left tackle of the Dallas Cowboys, heading to the Pro Bowl for the 4th straight year. Leading the way, got hit low in that right knee. On a run by McFadden, who stays in at running back. It's lofted out to Cole Beasley. He's very near the first down, tackled by Tavon Wilson. Just shy of the 35-yard line of Detroit. They are in field goal range for Dan Bailey, and a field goal would be huge, would make it a 3-score game here in the opening moments of the fourth quarter.
Where does Dallas get all these players? It just seems like they have the best tight end, the best kicker, the best offensive line. They've got a number of talented players. You have to credit the personnel department of the Cowboy organization. They're loaded.
Few knew was how good Dak Prescott was, particularly right out of the gate in the start of his career. McFadden, the ball carrier. Tony Romo injured a lot in recent years. When we had the Cowboys' first exhibition game in Los Angeles this summer, he wasn't going to play, still working his way back from back surgery. Kellen Moore was supposed to be the backup. He broke his ankle, out for the year. I remember when Dak Prescott started, the big storyline that night was, does Dallas need to go out and find a veteran quarterback who can come and play?
That's exactly right.
And Prescott was magnificent from the first snap. Remember, we had Jerry Jones on. That was one of the questions we were going to ask him. You need to go find a quarterback, and that had already been answered by the time Jerry Jones got to our booth. Here was his NFL debut preseason in front of the huge crowd of the LA Coliseum. All he did was go 10 for 12, and the 2 incompletions were both drop balls by Jeff Swing.
That was your first game, McDonough. Your voice was cracking that day. You were singing the praises of Prescott then. You knew it was going to happen. He put on a show that day in
LA.
LA.
You knew too. You had him at the Gruden quarterback camp, and you said long before that game in Los Angeles you thought this guy was going to be a terrific NFL quarterback, evidenced by your comparison to Donovan McNabb, who I know you have tremendous high regard for.
Well, I coached Donovan in the Senior Bowl. They're similar. They're 6'2", 240. They can run and pass. They have the it factor. They're natural-born leaders. They're quick learners. And they can handle any situation. Adversity, success, bring it on.
And he's had all of it on and off the field.
All-out blitz.
It's getting toward desperation time here for Detroit. They bring that blitz. Prescott gets it off for Beasley. First down. Well, he's so well coached, so smart to begin with. Scott Linehan has done a wonderful job running this operation.
He has it. If you go back in Linehan's history, he trained Matt Stafford as a rookie in Detroit. But for a young man to show this kind of composure in a no-back set, he audibled for 2 touchdowns in the first half, and now he reads an all-out blitz and shreds them again. Good luck if you play Dallas on your schedule.
Also benefited from terrific coaching in college. Dan Mullen, the head coach at Mississippi State, coached Alex Smith, Utah, coached Tim Tebow at Florida as an assistant coach. McFadden carries to the 19-yard line. Let's check in with Lisa Salters.
Hey, Sean, well, one of the reasons Dak Prescott went from being backup to starting quarterback so seamlessly, maybe because he'd done it before on just about every level he's played. When Prescott was a sophomore in high school in Louisiana, he took over for the senior quarterback Matt Smith when Smith broke his finger in the second game of the season. Then at Mississippi State, Prescott was again a sophomore backup when senior Tyler Russell suffered a concussion in the first game of the 2013 season. And once again, once Prescott took over, he never looked back. He said it's unfortunate, but injuries have played a role in his success on every level. He said I was forced to play before. And look at him, another touchdown pass.
Yeah,
he's just doing it at every level.
Yeah, he's been given opportunities because of injuries to others, and he has capitalized and then some every time. Another touchdown for Des Bryant with Nevin Lawson in coverage.
This is as good as it gets. He audibles, and then he makes this kind of throw, and this is very uncommon for any rookie. And Des Bryant has punished Detroit again. He had 5 touchdowns in 3 career games against the Lions. Tonight, 2 catches and a touchdown pass. Welcome back, Des Bryant. Game breaker.
Jason Garrett said we're going to play the regulars. We want to keep the rhythm and momentum going, and that's what's happening, particularly here in the second half. 15 out of 19 for 212 and 3 touchdowns for the brilliant rookie out of Mississippi State, Dak Prescott.
You see, football is a meritocracy. You aren't handed anything. You earn everything every single day, over and over again. You have to prove it. That's the way that the NFL, that's the way that football works. A great example of this is Dak Prescott. He's earned the right to be our quarterback. As hard as that is for me to say, he's earned that right.
We mentioned Prescott taking advantage of opportunity with injuries to others, and the latest example of that, what happened with Tony Romo. You give Tony Romo credit. Some people kept speculating when he's healthy and ready to go, is he going to be the quarterback? Even he acknowledged the reality that Prescott has earned the right to be the quarterback. Hard to imagine you could play much better than he has. Andre Roberts may need a big return. Byron Jones isn't going to allow it. Yanks him down at the 20-yard line.
When you watch Dak Prescott tonight, he looks like a 10-year veteran. At the line of scrimmage, the command, the recognition, the communication. In the first half on 3rd and long, he did all this with his audibles. Then right before the half, he sees man-to-man, and he shreds him again. He looks off the free safety and finds Des Bryant against a backup corner, and just now he did it again. And he throws another bullet to Bryant against Nevin Lawson. He has been dominant in all phases.
7 quarterbacks were taken before Dak Prescott in this year's NFL draft. Dallas got him in the 4th round. On the delayed handoff, Dwayne Washington finds a hole. They think he has some explosiveness. They saw it in the preseason. Jim Caldwell waiting to see it in the regular season. That's a 9-yard gain before Barry Church got him on the ground.
Well, you have to have a draw. You have to have a screen, because the Cowboys are teeing off. They know where Stafford is going.
Going to Eric Ebron on that throw. 1st down to the 35-yard line. Anthony Hitchens there for Dallas.
And this is where defensive coordinator Rod Marinelli plays this Tampa 2 coverage. And they're going to use some line stunts up front and milk the clock.
Washington to the 39-yard line. That's an interesting part of this matchup tonight. Jim Caldwell, the head coach of the Lions, on the other sideline. Rod Marinelli, former head coach of the Lions, and the offensive coordinator for Dallas is Scott Linehan, who was the offensive coordinator for the Lions under Jim Schwartz, who remains very close to Matthew Stafford. And Matthew said a lot of great things to us about Scott Linehan and the role he played helping Stafford develop. Been a nice week for Coach Linehan. His son Matt is the quarterback at Idaho, and in their bowl game a few days ago, he threw for 381 yards as Idaho beat Colorado State. So reason to smile for Scott Linehan, and a happy reunion with Matthew Stafford before the game tonight.
Linehan is a good coach and a good guy, and this means a lot to him. No doubt going up against his former pupil, Stafford.
Linehan, briefly the coach of the Rams, who were not very good. I'd like to see him get another chance to be a head coach. Stafford dancing for his life. Found Ebron. 1st down, and he delivers the hit to Barry Church as he goes down at the 44-yard line. 1st down, Detroit.
That's Stafford all on his own that time. Running for his life to his left with a damaged finger. Somehow finds Ebron.
Down by 3 touchdowns, Detroit, with 10 minutes to go. They've had 8 4-quarter comebacks, but this would top them all. And then some. 21 down against the best team in the NFC, perhaps the best team in all of football, and Washington got walloped by Randy Gregory.
I credit Sean Lee, the middle linebacker. He saw Stafford audible, and Sean Lee changes the defense. This is what kind of player Sean Lee is. He fixes the defense, and now advantage goes to Dallas, and Gregory is unblocked.
Stafford again escapes, running out of time, and incomplete pass. We had Gregory on him again.
It's been this package the entire second half. 3 down linemen, 2 linebackers. Blitz is coming from anywhere, and you don't know what the coverage is. This time it's Barry Church. Look at the 2 safeties deep. Are they going to stay there, or are they going to rotate? No, it's a double slot blitz. Matt Stafford confused, under duress, nowhere to go. Multiple looks. A lot of fast Dallas Cowboys. They're hunting Matt Stafford.
And perhaps Gregory will provide a lift for them heading into the postseason. Stafford swung down. Benson Mayowa gets him back at the 46-yard line of Detroit.
An unidentified flying object. Who is Benson Mayowa? On his third team, he's never played better. Screaming off the left side, he beats the rookie Decker. That might be the end of Detroit tonight. A lot of unknown Cowboy players in the front four, Sean. We talked about it before the game, and they came out to start the third quarter on fire.
4th and 19. 3 sacks for Dallas tonight. They're starting to come with great regularity here late in the year. Cole Beasley let the punt bounce. And it's going to roll down near the 2-yard line. .10 to go. Dallas with a 3-touchdown lead and the ball. As we know, scouting is an inexact science. Some wheel of rookie quarterback fortune in the 2016 draft. There were 7 quarterbacks selected before the Dallas Cowboys hit the jackpot in the 4th round. Dak Prescott. He's 12-2. They're going to buy a 3 in a moment. Vanna, she'll spin it around because they're going to be 13-2.
That was cool how you did that. I love that show.
I spent a lot of time with that animation. 15 out of 19. He's the only rookie quarterback in the league who has a winning record. Paxton Lynch 1-1. Jacoby Brissett also 1-1 for New England. Christian Hackenberg hasn't played. So Jared Goff 0-6. Carson Wentz 6-9. Cody Kessler 0-8. Connor Cook hasn't played. Darren McFadden, the ball carrier.
You know, though, Sean, when I met Prescott at our little camp, I tried to throw a lot at him. I tried to confuse him. I tried to make him feel uncomfortable. I'm good at that, Sean.
Yes, you are.
But I couldn't phase this kid. He is a quick learner, and he just loves football, and his enthusiasm contagious. You feel the same thing coming out of Elliott. The enthusiasm of these 2 rookie stars on the Cowboys has ignited this franchise.
And it doesn't appear that the success has changed Prescott at all. Scott Linehan said, I haven't seen anything yet that he hasn't handled well. McFadden, the ball carrier.
You know, a lot of these rookies, they get confused. They aren't decisive. They doubt themselves. I used to call it the valley of darkness. That's what happens to a lot of rookies, but not these 2 guys. They've gotten better and better, and the bigger the game, the more pressure there is, the better they have responded. And in an elimination game for the Lions, with several backup players playing, what a show.
If you had any intention of getting Tony Romo some snaps, you would think there would be an opportunity. Now here you're backed up against your own goal line, but a 3-touchdown lead more than midway through the 4th quarter. Prescott, a deep ball, incomplete for Des Bryant.
Only one thing to do here for the Detroit Lions. Turn it around with an impact play in the kicking game in this danger punt situation. Number 6, Chris Jones, the punter, will have his heels backed up against the end line. Not a lot of real estate. I'm coming after this if I'm Detroit.
Jones, the punter. In his 5th year of Carson Newman.
There they come.
Dallas had scored a touchdown in each of its previous 4 full possessions, not counting end of the first half. And they'll let the clock run out. Roberts, the fair catch. Good field position for Detroit with a lot of work to do. 6:25 to go. We're still here. There was a flag, as you can see, back at the line of scrimmage.
Illegal motion on the offense. The man on the line of scrimmage went in motion along the line of scrimmage. Detroit is elected to re-kick. 4th down.
Well, Detroit going to come after this kick again. They brought Asa Jackson off the edge in an all-out block situation. The Cowboys shifted their gunner into a protection position. Let's see if Jackson and the Lions cut loose the blitz again to try to block this punt. Now it looks like they're setting up for the return. They have doubled both of the gunners. They want to give Roberts a chance.
I don't know. Shortened distance for the punter. Accept the penalty. I think they come after him. They're going to lose yardage perhaps on this exchange unless Roberts can do some work. And he can.
Oh,
the punter, Jones, smoked him at the 30-yard line. My goodness.
I've never seen that ever. Wow.
Monday Night Lights, Seguin High School, one of 6 schools in the Arlington Independent School District here in Texas, participating in a pilot for the NFL Foundation's Inside Out Coaching Character Program. The goal of the program to provide coaches with resources, education to combat the win-at-all-cost mentality, refocus energy on developing high-character student athletes who will be leaders both on and off the field.
Don Shula, the NFL High School Coach of the Year Award, honors high school football coaches that display the integrity, achievement, and leadership exemplified by the winningest coach in NFL history, Don Shula. And this year's winner, Sean, going to be announced at the Pro Bowl on ESPN.
From Orlando, the end of January, Matthew Stafford with great field position. Diving catch made by Ebron. And apparently he was touched down at the 18-yard line, a gain of 12. Jim Caldwell's decision to have them punt over again paid off. They gained 17 yards on the redo.
Got to push the envelope, score quick, get the onside team ready. Take care of this business first.
Stafford trying to find Marvin Jones. We talked to the players yesterday for the Lions, John, about all these comebacks, 8 in the fourth quarter. They all gave credit to Jim Caldwell. He said he is a great teacher of situational football. Every day at practice, they have a 5-minute period where he comes up with situations, a lot of which he has seen recently in a college game or an NFL game. And they practice these desperation scenarios, and often with success in practice that they feel leads to confidence and success in the game.
Probably hasn't practiced this one.
No, down 21 against Dallas on the road. Now with under 5.5 minutes to go, Golden Tate the catch short of the first down.
Golden Tate, the ex-Seahawk. I remember a couple years ago the hit he put on Sean Lee. I would bet Sean Lee would love to see Golden Tate come across the middle at some point before this game is over.
Third down and 3. Detroit goes empty, and the ball dropped by T.J. Jones. And they have to go for the first down here. Field goal doesn't do them any good.
T.J. Jones, backup receiver. Got to make those plays, and on fourth down, this is where the Lions have missed Megatron the most, in the tight red zone.
Alvin Johnson averaged 86 catches per season during his 7 years teamed with Matthew Stafford, and 10 touchdowns a year. 3-man rush. Stafford, first down. Golden Tate to the 5-yard line, and Detroit needs to get up quickly here with the clock moving. 4:40 and ticking down.
Good work by Tate, going down to get it, fighting for the first down. Ball almost came out of there. Jerry's checking the process.
And the crowd just saw that replay on the screen. They snap it for Coach Garrett to throw a flag, and then David Irving took down Stafford with the ball out, and it's Dallas's ball. Boy, Irving's become a game wrecker these last couple of weeks. Did it to Tampa Bay in the fourth quarter last weekend, and now a big hit to Stafford, who is limping to the near sideline.
4 sacks by the UFOs up front. The unidentified flying objects, and soon the whole world will know who David Irving is.
ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by Lexus. The Lexus December to Remember sales event is here now through January 3rd. And by AT&T. Good-looking crew, our camera and production teams. I think some, like Joe Smiley and Jeremy Drummond, got into both pictures with our crew. Not to call out names, but I think we just did. They're taking a look at the fumble by Stafford. It was very close to see if he was down before the ball came out, but we think the
After
fumble's
review,
going to stand.
the ruling on the field stands. The ball was fumbled, recovered by the defense. First down.
It's close, but it looks like the ball right about here starts to come out just before he hits the ground.
Yeah, and if I'm Detroit, Sean, I'm going to be real careful with getting him hit anymore tonight. Get ready for the Packers next week. All the chips will be on the table, and I'm sure that's what Jim Caldwell is thinking.
Prescott hands it off to Darren McFadden. And clearly they're minimizing the hits on Ezekiel Elliott tonight. It looks like his day is done after 12 carries. He averages 22 rushes per game. He's done.
You know, Sean, I go back to Jason Garrett. We have not probably given him the credit that he deserves. I was 4-12 1 year as a head coach, and it was just awful. I mean, you can't even sleep. You can't eat. 4-12 they were last year. He comes back this year. He loses his starting quarterback, Tony Romo. I mean, that's awful. And then they lose Kellen Moore. You said it earlier. Des Bryant misses 3 games. They have a bunch of no-name players on defense. We were there. There were a lot of questions, and he's riding a 4th-round draft choice, and his Dallas Cowboys are going to be 13-2. He has done an unbelievable job keeping this team together, giving them confidence, and he deserves to be the coach of the year in football, I believe.
It's hard to argue. There are a number of other candidates. Adam Gase of Miami. You know, a great run they've had to make the playoffs. Bill Belichick, his usual terrific coaching job, especially at the start of the year without Tom Brady. Dan Quinn in Atlanta, to me, is a guy who certainly merits consideration, but hard to argue against Jason Garrett. Jim Caldwell's done a wonderful job. Been a nice week in the Garrett family. John Garrett, Jason's brother, named the head coach at Lafayette College.
I love that college.
Yes, you do. Your son Deuce played football for Lafayette.
There's just a mass amount of data in this business. Trey Brown, director of college scouting. You know, you got to have a powerful laptop. We're trying to find the prospects can compete on the professional level. See how he drops his hips? You look at the athleticism, the speed, the explosiveness. We're on the field, in the classroom. The Surface Pro allows us to be everywhere.
One guy that really caught my attention.
I can write right on the screen. I couldn't do that on a Mac. At the end of the day, we're trying to find the players that are going to give us the opportunity to win championships.
Detroit now out of timeouts. McFadden spins ahead for a first down near the 18-yard line. Ashawn Robinson made the tackle, the rookie out of Alabama. He's been whooping with Prescott a little bit tonight. There might be some history there back to the old SEC days.
I'll bet there is.
.50 yards rushing on 11 carries for Darren McFadden.
How about this offensive line, though, Sean? What a job they've done. Let's just hope left tackle Tyron Smith is going to be okay.
McFadden knocked down by Ashawn Robinson. Well, there's Tyron Smith. No update on his situation with a knee.
It's good to see him standing there, though.
The knee wrapped. If they were to lose him, that would be a big blow heading toward the playoffs.
I was at the Pro Bowl last year just sitting by the pool, and I got cornered by Tyron Smith. He says, you can put your cell phone down or go in the pool.
Really?
Threw me in the pool. Tyron Smith.
He picked you up and threw you in the pool.
Yes, he did. He let me put my cell phone down. I appreciate it.
Lions blitzing the run. Darren McFadden chopped down. When we asked Ezekiel Elliott the other day if that rookie rushing record of Eric Dickerson meant something to him, he said, you know, I'd like to do it, but I understand the situation we're in, and the team goals are more important. With the limited playing time tonight, under 100 yards rushing for Elliott, he'll need 178 in their regular season finale against Philadelphia to break the record. 80 yards rushing on 12 carries tonight, 55 of those on one run. Stephen Charles is the injured Detroit Lion. Reason for the stoppage in play here with 2:07 to go.
But if you had McFadden and you had Alfred Morris as his backup and Lance Dunbar, why would you risk it next week on the road in Philadelphia?
You say not even suit him up at all?
Well, I don't mind suiting him up, but I'm not going to go after 178 yards when we have a chance to win a championship.
Well, they tend to. Stephen Charles will step aside with 2:07 to go in the fourth quarter here in Arlington, Texas. We're back in Arlington, Texas, AT&T Stadium. Stephen Charles walked off the field under his own power. Fourth-year defensive lineman out of the University of Regina in Canada. And they'll wind the clock, and Dallas does not have to snap it again. We'll go down to the 2-minute warning. So this is an exciting 19 seconds of football action that you'll want to make sure you have saved on video for years to come. 2-minute warning. Merry Christmas.
A warning here at Arlington. Hi, everybody. I'm Steve Levy. Charles Woods and Steve Young and Trent Dilfer join me on the GMC postgame report coming up next. We'll look at this game, look ahead to the last week of the regular season and the playoffs. And on Sports Center tonight with Scott Van Pelt is one big thing, what that Browns win means and the best of the worst from Maryland's bowl effort today. Maybe start with the helmets and the uniforms. Sean and John.
All right, Steve, thank you. Steve had a tough assignment the other day with Mac Brown. They were at a bowl game in the Bahamas. Darren McFadden on 3rd down and 13. Runs out to the 17-yard line. You know, the Browns got their first win of the year, and interesting to read some quotes from the members of the Detroit Lions team 2008. They were happy to see the Browns. It's not like they want company, another 0-16 team. No one should have to go through what they went through at 0-16. They were glad, the quotes that I read, that the Browns won a game.
That's good.
Thanks for the help. You can go home now if you
read
like.
a lot of articles.
Take the rest of the night off.
I usually don't read about the 1-14 teams, but
well, thankfully you never coached any. Here's Chris Jones, much feared now tackler on special teams after his high hit a moment ago. And he punts it out of bounds. So the Lions had a chance to secure a playoff spot with a win tonight. That's not going to happen. But they still have the head-to-head battle next Sunday night against the Packers. And the winner of that will win the NFC North.
Might as well just take a knee here.
Yep.
Get a knee. You need everybody next week because all the chips will be on the table. Yards mean absolutely nothing, except for fantasy football.
course, with this loss tonight for Detroit, it means now the Washington Redskins next weekend, their game at home against the Giants, if the Redskins win, they'll be in the playoffs unless that Detroit-Green Bay game ends in a tie, which obviously is a slim possibility. Quick hitter to Golden Tate. Yeah, I'm surprised they're doing this. Just, Stafford takes a hit here.
Or a receiver or a lineman or anybody. You just don't need many more yards. Stafford has plenty of those.
I think one thing we saw tonight for Detroit, Coach, they set up a swing pass to Dwayne Washington. The Lions really missed Darius Slay.
No doubt.
And that's going to hurt against a team like Green Bay that throws the ball as well as Aaron Rodgers and the Packers do. It didn't sound very promising, like they were expecting to get him back in time for next weekend.
No, and they call him Big Play Slay for a reason. He has closed out a couple teams in the fourth quarter, and they went after Batamosi tonight with Des Bryant, and I'm sure Jordy Nelson and Aaron Rodgers saw it.
Final 5 seconds, time for one last question. If you're the Cowboys, do you give Tony Romo snaps next week?
I think I would. I might give him a few snaps next week on the road at Philadelphia. But Jason Garrett has done a masterful job with the Cowboys. Let's leave those decisions to him, Sean.
Final score, the Cowboys 42, the Lions 21. Stay tuned for the GMC postgame on SportsCenter. It's coming up next. We'll be back in a matter of seconds for this week's Gruden and Grinder. Thanks for watching Monday Night Football, and happy holidays from Arlington, Texas.